The majority of people in this country do not follow politics in any way. Both people that voted for Donald Trump and people that voted for Hillary Clinton. The small percentage of liberals and conservatives who do follow politics on a regular basis have one major difference. The big difference being where they get their news from. Let's think about this. On literally every political issue, there are completely different views. Pro-life, pro-choice, climate change is real, climate change is fake, immigrants should go, immigrants should stay, welfare recipients are disenfranchised, welfare recipients are lazy, the rich pay too little in taxes, the rich pay too much in taxes, and so on. Let us look where people get their news. TV shows are rather straightforward. Conservatives get their news from Fox News, and liberals get their news from CNN, MSNBC, and The Daily Show. When it comes to newspapers, conservatives go to the Weekly Standard, the Washington Times, and the New York Post, while liberals read the New York Times, Washington Post, and the Chicago Tribune. On radio, conservatives listen to Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, and Alex Jones, while liberals listen to Democracy Now!, Best of the Left, and The Tom Woods Show. On the internet, you got for conservatives, Drudge, Breitbart, The Hill, The Blaze, and Reddit, while liberals tend to go on Slate, Mother Jones, Salon, and the Huffington Post. On YouTube, you got Alex Jones and Mark Dice for conservatives, and the Young Turks and Vox for liberals. There are clearly a ton of different ways to get the news, but all the names listed above entirely or have sections where they state their opinion on a story. An actual news program is one that states the facts of a story without giving their opinion. Think like your local news channel. But since we are only human, we need a little bit more excitement in where we get the news, which leads us to our major problem, and that is sources. The sources from these opinionated news programs from the list above should be that of actual news programs, ones that report only facts. Sources shouldn't be off the top of your head, or a blog site, or a conspiracy website, or a cherry-picked section of a story. That is where the big divide is in this country. I refuse to make false equivalencies, and liberal opinionated news sources are far from perfect. But conservative personalities, where most of their people get their news, is absolutely horrific when it comes to using credible sources. The majority of conservative personalities won't name their source, or they will tell you it's a gut feeling. They will quote other conservative personalities or other websites as if that is a credible source. If they use an actual news story, they will use a section or so, without reading the entire article or study. One of the most peddled myths they did throughout the election in all forms of media is to say that 90 million Americans are out of work. They would make this claim over and over and over again. Now, they didn't say the unemployment rate is 90 million people, because that would mean that the unemployment rate is 30%. What they purposely failed to mention is that the 90 million people includes people who are retired. Every day, more and more baby boomers retire for obvious reasons, and the 90 million number includes people who are still in college. They're purposely trying to misinform you. And why? To drum up outrage. Because outrageous stories brings people back. The people making that claim wanted ratings and wanted Trump to be president. They didn't care about integrity. So, what should be done? Credible news sources and opinionated news programs need to completely disqualify anyone who knowingly peddles false information and correct in the current moment people who they feel are unknowingly using false information. Oh, you think climate change is a conspiracy? Okay, you're disqualified. You will not be mentioned ever again on the show. You think Mexicans are rapists? Okay, you too are disqualified. You don't think there's systemic racism in our police culture? Well, here are the stats that show they are unequally charged. You think lower taxes are better for the country? Okay, now we can have a debate on that issue. Let's stop giving voices to the outrageous. There are some things that are up for debate, but facts aren't one of them.